Here again, time to dust off the old skates, sharpen the blades, get skating. Dusting's easy, but sharpening, now that's complicated. A scientist at Brock University has found there are a lot of angles to skate sharpening that no one realized before. Here's Jennifer Scott with the story.
This is the top line of the Oilers. With
Hockey players don't concern themselves much with science. They have other things to worry about, like getting the puck in the net or not getting their noses broken. But science is a big part of the game.
He was overcompensating with the body.
At least for Dr. Kelly Lockwood, a professor of kinesiology and biomechanics. It may surprise you, given Canada's love of hockey, but she and her team are conducting the first ever study on how the skate blade interacts with ice.
You can have the fittest athlete on the ice that has the greatest hockey sense, but you put them on a pair of blades that has no contact with the ice or doesn't have an ability to interact well with the ice, and the other really doesn't matter.
For years, she says, hockey players, even in the NHL, have underestimated the importance of their blades. So, with the help of the university's varsity hockey team, she intends to sharpen the blade's image and find out how the blade's characteristics, its thickness and contour, can affect the player's performance. These 20 players have surrendered their skates in the name of science and in the hopes of gaining a competitive edge.
It's a good thing that the varsity team volunteered for this study, because when their skate blades were analyzed, it turns out that 2/3 of the players had uneven blades. And that just wasn't affecting their performance, but maybe even their health, because their bodies had been compensating for these uneven skates.
Once they learned their skates were in such bad shape, the players didn't need much convincing to hand them over to the lab. Dr. Lockwood recruited longtime sharpener Bob Allen. He's sharpened some of the most famous skates in hockey. Even Wayne Gretzky has benefited from his expertise. But now his craft is merging with science. Dr. Lockwood is studying 4 key aspects of the blade. Its contour or curve. That determines how much of the blade makes contact with the ice. The apex, that's the center of the contour. If it's in the wrong place, too far back or too far forward, the skater is automatically off balance. The radius of hollow is the groove between the blade's edges, and its depth will determine how much bite the blade has into the ice. And finally, the levelness of the blade itself. Both edges should line up perfectly. All of these variables will affect the player's performance. The key is to find the best formula for each player. Every blade should be different because every skater is.
The number one variable that's going to affect what happens on the ice in terms of the blade-ice interaction is the weight of the skater. For example, if you've got a 225-pound skater and you give them a very deep radius of hollow, which is the groove that goes the longitudinal aspect of the blade, what's going to happen is there's a bite, or they will sink into the ice, and that bite angle will grab the ice.
Which is a bad thing.
Which is a bad thing, because now they're going to have to work harder to generate speed and generate power against the ice. However, if you give a bigger player a little bit of a flatter grind, all right, they're not going to have to work as hard, they don't fatigue as fast, hence they can go longer, harder, faster during a game performance.
What I'm doing right now is I'm fine-tuning the process by removing 1 to 2/1000ths of an inch of metal with each pass.
Here, Bob Allen is adjusting the contour of the blade. The more the blade curves, the less contact it has with the ice. Now, you might think every player would need roughly the same amount of contact with the ice, but not so, says Kelly Lockwood.
If a player, for example, is a defense and needs to be very agile, quick turns, maneuverability, if they have a lot of blade on the ice, it's going to inhibit their ability to turn quickly. However, if you're forward, a longer contact with the ice is going to enhance their ability to gain speed.
Once all 20 pairs of skates have been recontoured and sharpened, they have to be put to the real test. What will the players think?
First of all, I'd just like to say thank you for participating and having the faith in us to allow us to tamper with your blades. By the end of today, if you're not happy with your blades, we'll do everything we can to make you happy. They've been reprofiled, they've also been resharpened, they've been checked for levelness, and they've been checked for apex, which is where the high point of the rocker of the blade is. Take the time
The players don't pay much attention to the scientific jargon. They want results. They've just lost a few games out of town, so they're hoping their newfangled blades will turn their luck around. But Bob Allen warns them that their skates may feel a little awkward at first.
Some of the skates, when we profiled these skates, we changed the blade heights considerably, which changes your center of gravity. Some of the skates, we probably changed your center of gravity by about 9 inches. So, bear with us here, guys.
As with any laboratory experiment, the lab in this case being a hockey arena, certain precautions are taken to ensure the results are not contaminated.
These protect your blades. Your blades, again, I'll mention, they've been polished, they've been fine-tuned, and even this floor in here is gritty and filthy and dirty. Please don't allow your blades to touch the floor.
The subjects dutifully wear their blade protectors to the ice, and when the blades finally meet their match, Kelly Lockwood takes the skaters through their drills. The drills require the skaters to practice speed, agility, and control. Kelly Lockwood wants to know if varying the contour of the blade has made any difference. Soon the team captain is already voicing his approval.
They're going 1,000 times better. It just feels like your blades are flatter on the ice than normal.
Are flatter on there?
Yeah,
So
like
you've
you have
got
more
contact?
blade to push off of.
The skaters are also put through an endurance test. These are measured laps around the ice to determine their aerobic capacity. They first did this test a few months ago on their old blades. Now on their newly sharpened ones, the hope is they won't have to work as hard to skate as far. The initial results look encouraging. One player added 4 lengths to his previous record.
Well, I noticed a big difference. More blade to ice contact. I felt in September I was maybe pushing off more of the heel, but now I was getting more toe action, I guess, into it.
Did you feel you had more speed?
Yeah, definitely. More powerful stride, like a full stride.
When the testing is finished, the players are asked to fill out a questionnaire. Did the new sharpening give them more speed, agility, or control? The response is overwhelmingly positive.
In the past, I didn't think it had. I thought it had little impact on the way you skate out there. But now that I got my skates done, yeah, it does make impact out there.
I mean, there's a lot of science involved in skating with the contour of the blade and certain radiuses and stuff. So yeah, I guess it makes sense to take a scientific approach to it.
My research is a performance model. So when you see performance being enhanced or what you do in the lab take an effect in real life, it's a feeling of exhilaration that you're making a difference to the athletes.
Her project will continue throughout the hockey season. And she says once the results are in, the research will apply to all blades, on hockey, figure, and speed skates, because all rely on the right connection between blade and ice.